There are people in your life right now who look you in the eye and lie with every smile. They sit across from you at dinner. They work beside you in the office. They call themselves your friends. And yet beneath the surface, beneath the performance they have mastered, they harbor a quiet resentment that would shock you if it were ever spoken aloud. They have learned the art of concealment. They have perfected the mask. And unless you know what to look for, you will never see the truth until it is too late. Machiavelli understood something that most people refuse to accept. The world is a theater of deception. Those who survive are not the most honest. They are the most observant. They are the ones who read between the lines, who study the pauses, who notice what is not said as much as what is. Today, I am going to give you the tools to see through the fog. I am going to show you 7 signs that someone despises you but is too calculated, too strategic, or too cowardly to ever admit it. This is not about paranoia. This is about precision. This is about training your mind to detect the invisible warfare being waged against you every single day. Watch closely, learn ruthlessly, and never again allow yourself to be deceived by a pleasant face hiding a hostile heart. Sign number 1. The praise that comes with conditions. Listen carefully to this because it is one of the most sophisticated forms of hidden contempt. Someone compliments you, but the compliment never stands alone. It always arrives with a qualifier, a comparison, a subtle redirection that takes away what it pretends to give. They say you did well, but then immediately add that someone else did it better. They acknowledge your success, but only after reminding you how long it took or how much help you needed. They celebrate your achievement, but frame it as surprising, as if they never expected you to be capable of it in the first place. This is the language of the enemy who cannot afford to reveal themselves. Machiavelli wrote that men are so simple and so ready to follow the needs of the moment that the deceiver will always find someone ready to be deceived. The conditional compliment is that deception. It is designed to satisfy the social obligation of appearing supported while simultaneously planting seeds of doubt in your mind and in the minds of anyone listening. A person who genuinely respects you does not need to qualify their praise. They do not need to add footnotes or disclaimers. They state the truth plainly because your success does not threaten them. But the person who dislikes you feels every win you achieve as a personal loss. Your rise disturbs their sense of order, so they manage their discomfort by wrapping poison in politeness. They give you just enough acknowledgement to maintain the illusion of goodwill, but never enough to actually fuel your confidence. Pay attention to the structure of their words. Notice when praise is immediately followed by criticism. Observe when your victories are celebrated only in relation to how they benefit someone else. Watch for the compliments that somehow leave you feeling smaller rather than larger. These are not accidents of language. These are tactical strikes designed to keep you in your place without ever making it obvious that you are being kept there. The untouchable mind learns to recognize this pattern and responds with silence. You do not argue. You do not defend. You simply file the information away and understand that this person has revealed themselves. They have shown you that your success makes them uncomfortable, and discomfort in the presence of your growth is the clearest sign of hidden resentment. Remember their words, remember the pattern, and never make the mistake of seeking validation from someone who can only give it to you in broken pieces. Sign number 2, the conversation that never deepens. This is where surface-level relationships hide their true nature. You talk to this person regularly. You exchange words, you share space, you might even laugh together. But if you pay attention, if you truly listen to the substance of what is being discussed, you will notice something chilling. The conversation never goes anywhere. It stays shallow. It remains safe. It circles endlessly around weather, work, and trivial observations. But the moment you attempt to go deeper, the moment you try to share something real, you hit a wall. This is not accidental. This is architectural. The person who dislikes you but cannot show it will keep you at a specific distance. Close enough to avoid suspicion, far enough to avoid intimacy. They understand that depth creates connection, and connection creates obligation. They do not want to be obligated to you. They do not want to know your struggles, your dreams, your fears, because knowing those things would require them to care, and they have already decided that you are not worth that investment. Machiavelli taught that wise rulers keep certain people close for utility, not affection. The person who keeps every conversation with you locked in shallow territory is doing exactly this. You are useful in some capacity. Perhaps you serve a social function. Perhaps you fill a gap in their network. Perhaps your presence benefits them in ways you have not yet identified. But they do not value you as a human being. They value you as a piece on the board, and pieces do not require emotional depth. They require only functionality. Watch how they respond when you share something personal. Do they engage with curiosity? Or do they deflect and redirect the conversation back to safer ground? Notice whether they ever ask you meaningful questions, or if every interaction is dominated by surface-level exchanges that could be had with a stranger. Observe if they remember details about your life, or if every conversation feels like it is starting from zero, as though nothing you have ever told them actually registered. A person who respects you wants to know you. A person who dislikes you wants only to manage you. The difference is in the depth they allow. Once you see this pattern, you cannot unsee it. And once you understand that someone is deliberately keeping you at arm's length while pretending to be close, you gain the power to stop wasting your energy trying to build a bridge they have no intention of crossing. Let the conversation stay shallow. Let them reveal their limits, and redirect your depth toward those who actually have the capacity to meet you there. Sign number 3, the absence during your struggle. This is perhaps the most honest revelation of a person's true feelings toward you. Anyone can show up when you are winning. Anyone can celebrate you when the risk is low and the association benefits them. But the moment you stumble, the moment you face difficulty, the moment you need support rather than offer it, watch how quickly the landscape changes. Watch who stays and who suddenly has somewhere else to be. The person who secretly dislikes you will vanish during your hardest moments. They will not announce their departure. They will not openly abandon you. Instead, they will become unavailable. They will be busy, overwhelmed, dealing with their own issues. Their responses will slow to a crawl. Their presence will evaporate like steam. And when you emerge from your struggle, if you emerge, they will reappear as if nothing happened, ready to resume the relationship exactly where it benefits them. This is calculated neglect. Machiavelli observed that people judge you by your success, not your effort. The person who distances themselves during your difficulty is making a judgment. They have decided that associating with you in your current state offers them no advantage. Worse, they may see your struggle as an opportunity to let you fall without having to push you themselves. By simply doing nothing, by offering no hand, no encouragement, no support, they allow circumstance to do the work of removing you from their path. Pay close attention to who reaches out when your life is in chaos. Notice who asks if you are okay. Observe who offers help, even small gestures, even words of encouragement. These are the people whose loyalty has weight. Everyone else is simply a weather vane, turning toward you when conditions are favorable and turning away the moment the wind shifts. The weak mind makes excuses for this. It tells itself that people have their own problems, that everyone is busy, that absence does not equal hostility. But you are not here to coddle yourself with comfortable lies. You are here to see reality as it is. And the reality is this: a person who values you will find a way to show up, even in small ways, even when it is inconvenient. A person who dislikes you will find a reason not to. The choice is always there. The choice is always being made. And that choice during your hardest moments tells you everything you need to know about where you actually stand in their world. Remember who was silent when you needed sound. Remember who disappeared when you needed presence. And when your strength returns, when you rise again, do not make the mistake of welcoming them back as if their absence meant nothing. It meant everything. It was their confession. Believe it. Sign number 4, the energy shift in group settings. Watch this carefully, because it is one of the most visible yet most ignored signs of hidden animosity. You enter a room where this person is present. The atmosphere is light, people are laughing, conversation flows easily. And then you speak. You contribute to the discussion. You share an idea or a story. And suddenly, almost imperceptibly, the energy changes. The person who dislikes you will shift their body language. They will look away. They will check their phone. They will find something else to focus on. Or worse, They will subtly signal their disinterest to others in the group, a raised eyebrow, a smirk, a glance exchanged with someone else that says, "Here we go again." They are working to poison the room against you without ever saying a word. This is social sabotage at its finest. Machiavelli understood that power is often a matter of perception. If you can control how others perceive someone, you control their influence. The person who dislikes you knows this. They know that directly attacking you would make them look bad, so instead, they use non-verbal cues to diminish you in the eyes of the group. They make your contributions feel less important by visibly disengaging when you speak. They train others, consciously or unconsciously, to view you as less worthy of attention. You can test this. Pay attention to how the group responds to you when this person is present versus when they are absent. Notice if your ideas are taken more seriously, if your humor lands better, if the overall reception of your presence improves when they are not there to subtly undermine it. If the answer is yes, you have identified the source of resistance. You have found the person who is working against you beneath the surface. Do not confront this directly. Confrontation gives them the opportunity to deny, to gaslight, to make you seem paranoid or overly sensitive. Instead, become a student of the room. Learn to read group dynamics like a language. Understand who influences the energy and how. Once you see the pattern, you can choose to stop performing for a crowd that has already been turned against you, or you can outmaneuver the saboteur by building stronger alliances with others in the group, making their subtle signals irrelevant. The key is awareness. The moment you recognize that someone is actively working to lower your status in group settings, you stop, giving them material to work with. You control what you share. You choose your moments. You become strategic rather than open. And over time, you watch as their efforts to undermine you reveal more about their insecurity than they ever reveal about your worth. Sign number 5, the selective memory. This is one of the cruelest and most effective tools in the arsenal of someone who despises you quietly. They remember everything that serves their narrative and forget everything that does not. You do something kind for them. You offer help. You go out of your way to support them in a moment of need. And weeks later, when it might be natural to acknowledge that gesture, when it might be expected that they return the favor or at least express gratitude, they act as if it never happened. But mention a mistake you made, reference a time you were wrong, bring up a moment when you fell short, and suddenly their memory is flawless. They recall every detail. They can describe it with precision. They can remind you of exactly what you said, what you did, how it affected them. This is not a failure of memory. This is a choice. This is selective editing designed to keep you small and them superior. Machiavelli wrote that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. The person with selective memory has inverted this wisdom. They choose to forget the positive because acknowledging it would require gratitude, and gratitude implies debt. They choose to remember the negative because it gives them leverage, a weapon they can use whenever they need to recalibrate the power dynamic between you. Notice who conveniently forgets your contributions but always remembers your failures. Observe who never brings up the times you were right but constantly references the times you were wrong. Pay attention to who erases your value from their story while preserving every flaw. This is not neutral. This is hostile. And it is being done with full awareness whether they admit it to themselves or not. Your response must be to stop expecting fairness from people who have already decided you do not deserve it. Do not remind them of what you have done for them. Do not seek acknowledgement or appreciation. Simply note the imbalance and adjust your behavior accordingly. Give nothing more to someone who has shown they will only remember it when it serves them to forget it. Protect your energy, protect your generosity, and reserve both for those who have the integrity to remember the full picture, not just the parts that make you look weak. Sign number 6, the competitive reaction to your good news. This is where the mask slips just enough for you to see what is underneath. You share something positive, a promotion, a personal win, a moment of happiness, and instead of genuine celebration, instead of warmth and enthusiasm, you receive something else, something colder, a forced smile. A quick, "Yeah, that is great," followed immediately by a pivot to their own achievements or a subtle reminder that your success is not as impressive as it seems. They might say, "Oh, that is cool, I did something similar last year," or "Nice, I've been thinking about doing that too," as if your accomplishment is only worth acknowledging in relation to how it compares to theirs. Or worse, they find a way to minimize it entirely. They point out the luck involved. They mention how much easier it is now than it used to be. They frame your win as small, expected, or unremarkable. This is envy dressed in conversation. Machiavelli warned that envy is more dangerous than open hatred, because hatred can be confronted, but envy hides. It disguises itself as friendship. It pretends to be supportive while slowly corroding the foundation of your confidence. The person who cannot celebrate your success without immediately comparing it to their own or diminishing it to protect their ego is not your ally. They are your competitor, and they see every win you achieve as a loss they have suffered. Watch their face when you share good news. Does it light up or does it tighten? Do they ask questions because they are genuinely interested, or do they redirect the conversation back to themselves as quickly as possible? Do they remember your wins, or do those memories fade while their own achievements remain at the center of every discussion? A person who truly values you feels your success as a shared victory. They are energized by your growth because they see you as part of their world, not a threat to it. But the person who dislikes you experiences your wins as a threat to their position, their relevance, their sense of superiority. And because they cannot attack you openly without looking petty, they do it subtly. They diminish, they compare, they shift focus, and in doing so they reveal exactly how they feel about you. Stop sharing your victories with people who cannot handle them. Stop offering your good news to those who will only use it as a mirror to measure their own inadequacy. Save your celebrations for those who can genuinely be happy for you without making it about themselves. And when you identify someone who consistently reacts to your success with competition rather than celebration, understand that you are looking at someone who has already positioned you as an opponent, whether you agreed to the game or not. Sign number 7, the help that never comes through. This is the final and perhaps most insidious sign. Someone offers to help you. They volunteer their time, their resources, their expertise. They tell you to count on them. They assure you that they will be there. And you believe them because why would someone offer help they do not intend to give? But then the moment arrives. The time comes when you actually need what they promised, and suddenly everything changes. They become vague. They backtrack. They cite complications you were never told about. They apologize but offer no alternative. They leave you standing there, holding the weight they said they would share, and you realize too late that the offer was never real. It was performance. It was a way to appear generous without ever having to follow through. It was a test to see if you would be foolish enough to rely on them. And you were. Machiavelli taught that promises are useful, but only a fool builds his plans on the promises of others. The person who offers help they never intend to deliver is playing a deeper game. They are positioning themselves as supportive in the eyes of others. They are gaining social credit for the appearance of generosity. But when it comes time to actually sacrifice, to actually invest, to actually show up, they vanish. And you are left holding the cost of your own trust. This is not forgetfulness. This is strategy. By offering and then withdrawing, they accomplish two things. First, they make you look dependent, as if you needed them and could not manage on your own. Second, they avoid the actual cost of helping while still receiving the social reward for having offered. You lose twice, once when the help does not come, and again when your reliance on that help makes you appear weak. Watch who offers much but delivers little. Notice who makes grand promises in public but goes silent when the time comes to fulfill them. Pay attention to whose words are loud but whose actions are invisible. These people are not confused. They are not overwhelmed. They are making a choice. They are choosing to let you down while maintaining plausible deniability. They are choosing to benefit from the image of being helpful without bearing the cost of actually being helpful. Your response is to stop accepting offers from people whose track record shows they do not follow through. Do not let the attractiveness of the promise blind you to the pattern of the behavior. When someone shows you repeatedly that their words mean nothing, believe the pattern, not the apology. Build your plans on your own capacity and on the proven reliability of those who have actually shown up, not those who have only talked about it. The person who offers help they never deliver is telling you something crucial. They are telling you that they value the appearance of supporting you more than they value actually supporting you. They're telling you that you are worth a performance but not an investment. Hear that message, accept it, and never again make the mistake of building your foundation on their empty words. The Machiavellian Response. You now see what most will spend their entire lives ignoring. You have been given the map to navigate a world that operates on hidden motives and unspoken hostilities. The 7 signs are now yours, the praise that comes with conditions, the conversation that never deepens, the absence during your struggle, the energy shift in group settings, the selective memory, the competitive reaction to your good news, the help that never comes through. These are not theories. These are patterns, and patterns once recognized give you the power to act before you are acted upon. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must now become disciplined in your application of this awareness. Do not confront those who reveal themselves through these signs. Confrontation is the tool of the emotional, and emotion is the enemy of strategy. Instead, observe, adjust, withdraw your energy from those who have shown they do not value it. Redirect your trust toward those who have earned it through action, not words. Machiavelli understood that the world is not fair, it is functional. Those who survive are not the most moral. They are the most aware. You are now more aware than you were before you started this video. You are now equipped to see through the performances that others spend years perfecting. Use this knowledge not to become bitter, but to become untouchable. Let your clarity be your shield and your silence be your sword. If this resonated with you, if you felt the truth of these words in your bones, leave a comment below with the phrase, "I see through the mask." Let that be your declaration. Let that be your acknowledgement that you are no longer blind. And if you are serious about mastering the psychology of power, about learning to navigate a world built on deception and strategy, then subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications. Commit to your education, because the game never stops. The players never rest. And the only question that matters is whether you will be the one who sees or the one who is seen through. Stay sharp, stay silent, and rise above the noise.